This is great. Welcome to the Lilo show, where all we do is look out the window.
Welcome to Fire Movement Update Series, Episode 5. This is the first episode that we're going to be doing a year-over-year comparison of where we were a year ago. So whether you've been around with us the whole time or whether you're brand new, you're going to see how much we've changed in a year.
All right, guys, so like we said, we are gonna be going over our expenses from this past quarter, so Q2, as well as our passive income that we made. We do have stats from the previous year, like Brendan said, from our previous videos that we
got to go back and watch our old videos, which is kind of fun.
I was in the middle of saying that we will link that previous year video that we watched up above. So if you guys are curious of the progress that we made and also how good our video looked in our old A7C camera, that is where you will see all that go down. But speaking of some camera equipment, as you can tell, we are mic'd up on these new wireless lavs. We really hated the audio that we've been having just shooting off of our iPhone. So we picked some of these up off Amazon. We're trying out new things. So if you guys like it, feel free to give this video a thumbs up or let us know how the audio sounds in the comments down below. So
if it sounds bad, we can still return them. So please
we love Amazon's return policy, let alone that we're also sitting in camping chairs right now. So that way we can have, these were also courtesy of Amazon. If anyone's curious, let us know. We'll drop a link in the description down below as well. But without further ado, let's get into our fire progress for Q2 of 2022.
All right, so into our expenses. As always, we can't memorize these numbers, so I'm gonna be looking at a laptop once again. But our expenses for this quarter. So in April, we spent $3,141.90. In May, we spent $1,931.08. And then in June, we spent $2,033. Really wanted that to be under 2,000, but we broke over by 33 cents. So the total for those 3 months was $7,073.31. And if you average out, if you divide that by 3, our monthly average for this quarter was $2,357.77.
And that's inclusive of also our living costs. So that's rent. This is what we spent on groceries, gas, anytime that we've swiped our card on something. That's what these expenses are coming from.
It's funny that you mentioned rent because we're going to compare these numbers to 1 year ago when we did not pay rent.
When my roommates were my parents.
We were living with Gabby's parents. So 1 year ago, our average monthly expenses were $1,007.26. So it's increased by 134% year over year. So that's no small number, but as Gabby mentioned, that's a huge part of that is that we're paying rent now.
Yeah, for the most part, our lifestyle hasn't really changed on what we're spending money on. We're still very frugal that we don't go out to eat much. If we do make larger purchases, we're very mindful of them. We try to minimize reoccurring expenses, but there's no getting around rent if you're not living with your family, friends, or whatnot.
So you might have noticed that April was a little bit more, actually quite a bit more than the other 2 months. That's because of a couple of non-recurring big expenses. So one of those that we're super excited about is our annual ski pass. It's for this upcoming season, so we kind of prepaid 6 or so months in advance, but that was $700 for both of us. We also, our phone plan, we use Mint Mobile, which is awesome, but we can talk about it in another video. But that was $500 for the year for both of us. And then I forgot what the third one was.
Well, I remember because we had some meds that we had to buy for Lilo because we buy her flea, tick, heartworm medicine annually. So I think for those was about $300 for a 12-month supply. And then
The flights,
I knew it, yeah. And then I took an unexpected flight. I was hoping to fly, my mom works with airlines, hoping to fly for free. Didn't work out, needed to get back, so had to pay $300 for a one-way ticket. So Brendan handled all the bad news of the expenses. I get all the fun part of making all the money.
We got to trade next video. I got the good part.
So I will be going over our passive income. So this is going to be from our dividends as well as our high interest savings accounts. Okay, so in April, our passive income was $454.26. In May, it was $210.13. In June, our highest month ever. This was pretty exciting to see real time when our dividends were coming in, but okay, right? So June was $791.06. And then from our interest, from our high interest savings accounts, between the both of us, $285.28. So with all of those numbers totaled up for the quarter, for 3 months, our total in passive income is $1,740.73. So with that number, what we'd like to do is take it to an average, just like we did with our expenses. So our average passive income per month was $580.24. So that is the average per month that we're getting from passive income. And compare this number to a year ago. A year ago, living with my parents, a lot less expenses, right? But a year ago, we were also only making $240.62 on average. So not only doubled, but this was an increase year over year of 141% of our passive income.
It's so cool to see because we just got done watching our video from a year ago and we were so excited at 240. So to be able to over double that in a year, I don't expect that it's going to be doubled every year, but it's super cool to just see the progress over a longer time period.
So it was awesome to see that. We were so grateful for what we were making back then, but equally as grateful now to see the increase that we've made.
So from those numbers, we were able to cross over a few pretty big thresholds for us that I think are pretty cool. So the first one of them being that we're now averaging over $500 a month in passive income. I think like a loose goal that like would be pretty big for us is to get to $1,000 a month, so $12,000 a year. So we're about halfway there. Just really exciting to see. The other number is that we're also averaging over $100 a week. So I'm really neurotic and I like to break down like yearly, monthly, quarterly, daily, hourly. And the last one I also think is pretty cool is that we've increased from Q1 to Q2, we have increased our investments by about 45%. We've talked about it in previous videos, but this is really due to market conditions. Now the market's dipped down about 20%. It's hovering right around bear market territory. And because of that, we've increased our investments quite a bit. And because of the way that dividends work, they're a little bit delayed in the fact that you buy a stock and then it takes a little bit to like reach the dividend date and then it takes a little bit more to actually pay it out. So all this investing from this quarter is really going to benefit us huge for next quarter, and we're really excited to see the benefits of all that happening.
Okay, now, so thank you for those lovely milestones, Brendan. That was great. So, total fire percentage. That's what we're going to be talking about. Of essentially, I personally like to think of this number as how retired we are. This number that we're getting, our fire percentage goal, is that we're taking our total passive income and we're dividing that by our total expenses for the past quarter. And so our total numbers here for passive income was $1,740.73. And we are dividing that by $7,073.31. So those are expenses. The final number of how retired we are, how close we are to our financial independence, retire early goals is 24.61%. So we are 24%, pretty much, maybe 25.
Let's try to 25.
It's 24, I don't want to cheat. And so that's how close we are to reaching our goals. So we foresee ourselves being in this apartment for probably at least another year. Our expenses are going to be staying the same. Our investments should be going up. So this number should be going up, because when we compare this number to a year ago, I think we were 23% a year ago.
Yeah, it's only up by about a little bit. Overall, if you look at this number, there's not a ton of progress over the over the past year, but we're in a much more realistic living situation. I love your parents, Gabby, but I don't want to live with them forever. So we're now in our own place, paying rent, and this is the number that we're more realistically looking at.
Yeah, because despite that this number, say, has only gone up, I think, 1% since a year ago, our lifestyle has completely changed. So it's like, the number's nice to focus on, but you know, there's a lot of things that go into this number. So if you're looking at your own, you know, say FIRE number and you're getting discouraged because of the economic hardships that are going on, your expenses are going up because you have to drive 50 miles to work every day or something like that, just keep in mind that this number is just a gauge, essentially. You know, it's not a value. You know, a value is really what you're getting in your passive income and just making your way towards that goal.
With that being said, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for future updates like this and a lot of other videos because we do other stuff too.
We'll put a link if we can to our playlist. Actually, we'll put it in the description down below so you guys can check out the playlist to see how we've come to where we are now. And I guess if you also are curious, what was it, like a couple weeks ago, we climbed the tallest mountain in Colorado. So get your mind off of all this finance stuff and watch us climb this glorious mountain if you're bored. But anyways, guys, for real, thank you so much for tuning in to Gaby and Bren. Really appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.